When it comes to the Democrat base, former Vice President Joe Biden is once again showing that he really doesn't know who he represents. Hey, everybody, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk, 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Joe Biden, the former vice president, quoted in a piece from the Washington Examiner, saying over the weekend on Saturday that it's a myth that young people that the Democrats need in the upcoming 2020 presidential election, that it's a myth that young people are, quote, looking for something radically different in politics. Biden saying on Saturday, quote, "This is not a hit on Bernie, but this is not a generation of socialists." Vermont Senator U.S. Bernie Sanders, a self-described Democrat socialist, is among a small group of presidential candidates who, along with Biden, have emerged as a top-tier 2020 hopeful. Biden said young people are concerned about corporate America's growing power, but they understand the Constitution and consensus has to be reached in politics. Biden said, quote, "The vast majority, they want rational policy. I don't think they're looking for radicalization of who we are or what we do." So Joe Biden saying that this is not a generation of socialists, that young voters are not looking for anything that radical, that they're just looking for, to go along and get along in Washington, D.C., And listen, obviously, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not going to be supporting Joe Biden for the presidency, or really any Democrat that comes out of the Democrat primary. But I can tell you this: Joe Biden doesn't understand the base of the Democrat Party. The younger Democrats, whether they consider themselves socialist or not, they are looking for radical change. If you go back to 2016, in the primary between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, while she won the primary, in my opinion, that was that was absolutely decided beforehand. She was given the advantage to win that primary battle. I think most of the energy from young people, from even some older folks, was behind Bernie Sanders. Younger people in America, and younger Democrats specifically, want radical change in the political process. Listen, it's one of the reasons why Trump won. Is that people are fed up with the current state of politics. They were fed up with those who are in the swamp. That's why you did have some of that crossover Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump voter, which I didn't completely understand, but I get it in this way. They were tired of the status quo, and people are still tired of the status quo. Democrats are tired of the status quo when it comes to the old school Democrat guard. I mean, just look at Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, the new faces of the Democrat Party. They are Democrat socialists. They're not your old school Democrats. They're not your Bill Clinton Democrat or your Joe Biden Democrat. They are Democrat socialists. Ocasio-Cortez considers herself a Democrat socialist. A growing number of young people consider capitalism evil, consider capitalism wrong. This is Joe Biden not understanding his base, the grassroots of the Democrat Party. And it's another example of why I don't believe Joe Biden will actually win the nomination. He's out of touch with his own party. His own party is growing lefter and lefter and lefter every single day. They are careening towards socialism on the left. And I think Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi are doing all they can to hold on to the old school Democrat Party while trying to appease the folks like Ocasio-Cortez, but it ain't working. They are being exposed for who they are. The new Democrat Party is absolutely about Democrat socialism. Younger people who are, who are voting in the liberal bloc, they are Democrat socialists or lean towards the Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. Whether they consider themselves Democrat socialists or not, they all agree with what Bernie Sanders is selling. They all agree with what Ocasio-Cortez is selling. Same thing with Elizabeth Warren. She doesn't call herself a Democrat socialist. Elizabeth Warren says that she's a capitalist with a lot of rules. Okay, that's fine, but she agrees with everything that Bernie Sanders does, but she has more policy proposal than what Bernie is putting out there. Ocasio-Cortez loves Elizabeth Warren. Well, guess what? Elizabeth Warren, if she was a full-on capitalist, Ocasio-Cortez probably wouldn't like her too much. So this is Joe Biden. He's out of touch. That's why he won't win the nomination. He doesn't see where his party is heading. If he does see it and he's lying about this, then he's doing a disservice, in my opinion, to the nation and to the Democrat Party. He needs to address those issues. He needs to address the people who want to take America in a more socialist way. You know, this idea that a lot of young people love the country and love the Constitution and everything. There are also quite a few young people who detest America, who think that our founding was horrible. You look at the people who are somehow offended by the founding of the nation, by the founding fathers. It is something that needs to be addressed in the Democrat Party, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO.